spawning in the top right with the teal Terran pieces, we got Shaylin, the lovely Shaylin. Spawning on the bottom left with the pinkish white Terran pieces, we got Harley! Let me just turn the sound down real quick. Alright, sorry about that. But we start out with Harley going for a proxy something, hiding his STV back here. Alright. So this is the third to last matchup, and whoever loses this gets 4th place because it's a double elimination tournament, since it's not that competitive. Shay is not walling off right away. She's going for a double barracks. So it looks like she's going bio. And we got Harley going double barracks. So we look at double bio. Extreme bio is going for a quick engineering bay. Interesting to see if he actually uses that upgrade pretty soon. Going for 3 barracks in engineering bay, while Shay is going for 2 barracks. So we will see how this turns out. They both are really close. Both know how, well, both mostly know how to build. Well, both struggling. Oh, there we go. Looks like Harley building SCVs a little better than Shay is. But it seems equal somehow. Shay is going for a lot of Reapers. This might be a little cheesy thing. She goes a lot of Reapers. I don't know. I don't think she should leave right now, but she definitely should leave when she has 4. The longer you wait, let's see. She's going up to a factory, and before, so it looks like Harley is doing a Marine rush, while Shay is doing a Reaper party at her base. And when you use Reapers, they have this really cool jumping ability where they can just hop onto the opponent's base, and since they're fast, they can really harass. So, like, if she made that, because Reapers towards like mid game don't really do anything, so it'd be nice if she used her Reapers if she actually used her when she had invested a lot of gas for early game in the Reapers. It'd be nice if she actually used her Reapers. Okay, they look cool. Shay has an interesting spot for her turret. Oh no, it's a sensor tower, my bad. Well, that's a good spot for a sensor tower. I agree with that. She'll know when the attack comes. She's a very defensive player. And even though there is a pocket expand that's basically free and safe to expand, at the 4-minute mark, they have not expanded yet. She finally has the Reapers. I love the idea. Just wish she left a minute earlier when she first built them, but we'll see how much damage they do, even though she was very delayed. What she'll have to do is run past these Marines. If she stands to fight them, she's going to be in a world of hurt. But she runs around. Oh, nope, she doesn't run past them. That's pretty cool. Make them all hop. Now that grenade doesn't really do anything except makes them for a little bit don't do any damage. Just makes them hop around so they can't attack. So no, she had a really good idea. She was just a minute late. A good idea, good execution. Well, she actually built them in a good amount of time. She just didn't use them until after a minute. Late. But she just did get out of bronze, so she's barely silver. So we can't expect her to make mistakes like that. Harley staying true. Let's look at this. Harley has doubling the armor supply, but the work supply is about the same. They both have fully saturated bases, although Shay goes for the quicker expand. So if she survives, she will... Basically, if Shay decides to build a siege tank, she'll probably win. But she's going for Banshees, which will be just as good. Well, I don't know. I like siege. Like just putting one siege tank right here, or like right at the entrance of the base, so when Harley finally does attack, because siege. Oop, let's see. She scans. No, by now that's going to be mostly Marine. And the thing that counters Marines the best is siege tanks. These are really cool cyclones, and they're actually really strong towards the early of the game. So I actually do like that. I can see where the decision goes as long as she uses them before the 10-minute mark. After the 10-minute mark, they don't work as well. But another thing too is these guys do a lot of damage, more damage versus armored units. So I guess their work against the Marauders pretty well. But these Marines are gonna. Like Harley is scanning. They're having scanning battles, or Harley scanning everything she owns. Although he has not scanned the natural see if she's expanded, and neither has she. I like how one thing too. Look at Harley. Harley made this risky build to put barracks all the way out here, and the reason why you do that is so you can attack 30 seconds faster, so they don't have to walk across the map. But you built these barracks out here, and then he didn't attack at all, an early attack. If he did an early attack, even with just like 4 or 5 Marines, how early, he might have done some damage at like the 4-minute mark. Well, maybe. No, it's just interesting. Unless he's planning to like take this base later on, like his first third base, that might be a good reason why. But Shay coming out with the first real action, she's going to run into this natural that has nothing. So we'll see how this works. Alright. Four SCVs. This will give Shay has a super high army advantage and marauder advantage. She is in the lead right now. As long as she spends her minerals, which she's not. So they're even because though she has a major advantage. Alright. Shay is lucky. Shay is one scan away from being dead. Those Marines will eat those alive if they could see them. But she takes her chances. One Banshee is about to become uncloaked. And Shay has a very strong position. Oh, the scan comes, and she does not react fast enough and loses her Banshees. I guess at the Silver League, you don't need much macro. So no, that was a pretty effective. That was really good. Let's look at structures real quick. That's not it. Let's see. So Harley has 6 barracks, while Shay only has 2. She has 2 starports, but Harley has no starports. I guess Shay does have more tech, but the one units that work really well against Marine Ball is Widow Mines or Siege Tanks, and she is not building any of those. So even though she's in the lead, she still might win just because she's not building the right units to counter Harley's units. Cyclones are okay though, they're pretty powerful in TvT. So like even though they don't count it perfectly, but Shay is about to see. Oh, Shay sees this his secret. Let's look at the upgrades. So Harley is upgrading while Shay upgrades Cloak, and that's it. She does have engineering bay though, but it's more of a museum right now than an actual um, workplace. Right? Built it, looks nice, but at 10 minutes hasn't used the building at all. She basically just used it to build one. She has to build a sensor tower. That's all she built it for. And she has plenty of gas and minerals, so she could easily upgrade. But she does. Does these bands? All right. Oh, and the ghost. Oh, that's big. So this is how the game goes. If Harley if Harley builds a, this is what my prediction. If Harley builds a Raven, he's going to win this match. If Harley doesn't build a Raven, he's going to lose. Because he only has one orbital command center. Maybe. He only has one orbital command that he uses. And so that's my thing. She has so much Banshees. That's ooh, she used. Oh no, never mind. That's with the Marine. Shay is just scouting everywhere possible. But Harley has the Lone Marauder, just chilling there. The Banshees are on the move again, but they're just probably going on vacation or something. Production. Shay is going for battle cruisers now and Yamaha cannons. Oh boy, that puts the time limit on and everything. Holy macaroni! She has a lot more. She's just done a lot better job of building workers, and she also killed a lot of workers too. And she's has a lot bigger army. Basically, she's building battle cruisers, which once she gets about like 10 or whatever, she basically just wins the game. But what will probably happen is she's probably going to attack with like 3 or 4, and if Harley can kill the battle cruisers, still has a chance. Harley's getting his Marine Ball, which Marines are naturally extremely well against battle cruisers if they have, and they'll win against battle cruisers if they have metafacts. And although he does have a starport now, so eventually he's going to build a reactor and he's going to start pumping out the metafacts. And then also, he's building infantry level 3. He has such high upgrades. Those battle cruisers are just going to collapse. The one way I see that Shay will win is if she just attacks with them. Well, not really. Harley's prepared now. So yeah, Shay has a game in the bag, but because she does not upgrade at all, like she doesn't, like Harley has infantry and armor, but if Shay would use this museum or go ahead and build my bad, I used to play Protoss, or build an armory, then and do some upgrades, she would win. Now we have action here. Oh, let's see how much energy he has. He has enough energy. Oh, and they all die. That's Shay. So yeah, so that's the story of the game. Shay did very well. She harassed, she built, she expanded better. She just doesn't forgot to upgrade. That's the only reason why she lost, or she probably will lose, unless she proves me wrong. Even though the army can work as much more, those upgrades super important. But she's coming across, and she will have, well, I approve of this. Massing up your army right here so you don't attack one by one. I really love that. Love that with Shay. Now Shay might have a chance. So what she'll do is she'll attack most likely. Then once her all arm is one spot, she'll warp these Battlecruisers in the back somewhere and just do more damage. And attack from basically two sides. Although I really fear for Shay because 3/3 Marines are the most scariest units in all of StarCraft. You get a big bunch of them. Although I might take that back. Shay might win because Harley keeps forgetting to build medevacs. Oh, never mind. He must be listening to me. Not really. Shay is massing out, but must be waiting for more units. No, she doesn't. She loses her sight. Army disappears and warps after everyone is killed. There we go. There we go. Get in there. Battle cruisers. Harley still has not reacted at all. Harley's just leaving camp. He's not fighting. Although these Marines would easily, all these Marines will easily kill these battle cruisers, but instead he's going for a base trade. Now, Shay has nothing at home. If she has some siege tanks, she could probably defend this, but she doesn't believe. She doesn't like siege tanks, so she's just going to take it man by man. Also, one thing, Shay is not spending her minerals at all. It's because she needs like 10 more bunkers, because she also doesn't like reactors either. Not a big fan of reactors or siege tanks. But she has done really well. Wrecking all of Harley's production. This is a really good move. They see army, and the attack happens. Shay is Yamaho canning the medevacs, which is a very wise decision. Although Harley just has more Marines, and Shay has no splash damage whatsoever. Battlecruisers are great units. They just don't trade very well against Marines. She knows. So coming back, Harley has a much bigger army supply, but his army supply is very bruised and easy to kill. Shay has these mighty battle. Oh, my bad. Shay has these mild battle cruisers, but some of them are also pretty bruised, and they don't trade well against Marines. Marines is a good counter to battle cruisers. Both of them have this are neighbors almost, having their secret bases. Both rebuilding. Although if both the armies meet up, I don't know what will happen. I guess what Shay would do if she saw her army, these guys have no height, so if the battle cruisers can like get on top of this or something, or get high ground so they can shoot when the Marines can't shoot them, and just kind of use the cliffs as their advantage, so they can attack and she can't. She could win, but straight up Marines, this much Marines versus 4 battle cruisers, the Marines will always win. Well, almost always win. Shay, on the other hand, will find his base first. Give Shay a slight advantage to build up. They both are. Harley is supply block, so you can't build any more units. So if Harley, this could be it. What I would, what? Oh wait, I bet she when Harley's Marines come, if she can warp out of there, tactical jump, that would be amazing. Just cripple and then just leave. These only one battle cruiser does the work of 4. Oh, except for that one. The Marines find it, and will she run away? She will stand and fight, and she jumps away. Nice. I love that. That is pro right there. Almost. If Harley finds them though, Uh-oh. This is where it goes down. Harley's much larger but beat up army, and they all die. But if Shay, look at all these minerals Shay has. If Shay just runs, she still might pull this out because well, Harley also has. Shay has a lot more. Shay had a lot more workers, but she reacts too slowly and only pulls one. That would be the game. That was really close. We have Shay, the lovely Shay, spawning on the top left, and we have Harley spawning on the bottom, and Harley is already sending out a fast SCV. Probably do some sort of proxy shenanigans that he likes to do. And then Shay, oh, there's something about last game too. So I was talking to Harley, and no, Shay had battle cruisers, and they're kind of battling out. Harley found Shay's base by Shay warping home. So when, oh shoot, oh no, all right, never mind. Hold that thought. So Harley did this exact same thing to JC, where he sneaks an SCV in and builds a proxy base into the Pocket Gold expansion, meaning that, and which is extremely risky because if it gets killed, well, I guess not too risky to use this by the buildings back, but I don't think Shay will never expect this unless she watched. Sorry, JC. Unless Shay watched the game first against JC on Facebook, I don't think she has any clue of this. Now, Harley's building 2 barracks. This one's just finishing up. So, Shay sometimes doesn't expand until the 5 to 10 minute mark. So there's a good chance that she won't even know that these things are here. And Harley is doing his famous three bunkers into engineering bay, or three barracks into engineering bay. Well, he'll start or 3 barracks into 2 engineering bays, and then he'll build 6 barracks and then expand, and he'll just get a bunch of more marines. And unless Shay has widow mines or siege tanks, she's just going to kind of collapse to it. Which I don't think she'll use siege tanks. So the one way she could, or siege tanks or widow mines, she doesn't like either of those units that much. So the only way I can see her winning is if she either one upgrades, I don't know, or one attacks with these Reapers fast. Instead of attacking at the 5 minute mark, go and attack right now at the 3 minute mark. Will she do it? She will! She'll move! And she'll see it! 3 Reapers will murder 3 Marines. Attack! No, get the high ground vision. You have high ground. Attack! He can't see you, but you can. Macro, yeah, there we go. Alright, somehow 4 Marines take out 3 Reapers. Harley is just much better at macro than Shay is. Alright, the one badly wounded Marine will, I guess, scout. Make sure no one else comes up here. Wait for some of his pals. One tip is bring the unit. Well, actually, one thing while we're waiting for stuff to happen. Oh, I'll just finish where I started. So earlier I was talking about Shay's Valkyries warping back to her base. Well, you can see. Well, when a Valkyries is warp, you can see what direction they're warping to, and Harley found. Oh. Now I'm getting a high ground attack. Oh, he backs up. So Harley is somehow always winning the fights. She has 2 barracks up there. Shay has 2 barracks. Shay's getting a factory. If she gets anything from the factory... Oh wait, she getting siege tanks? She might be getting siege tanks, or unless she's going fire bats or Thors, but if she gets some siege tanks, oh, I would be so excited. If she gets siege tanks, she has a really good chance of beating this. So Harley is going to do a 2-prong attack. If he's not ready for that, I don't think the siege tank could be done by then. But Shay should have plenty of notice of this. Let's look at Shay's screen.
Additional supply depots required.
I don't know. Couldn't see it. Harley is just staying right outside the range, going around. But this SCV, and they wait. Nope, they'll miss each other. No way. So yes, I'm so excited. A siege tank. No, at the higher levels, and a chance is trying to. Oh, boom! See, look at that splash damage, insta kill. Shay. Although there's a counterattack, but Harley wisely. Oh, he should have kept running. He should not have turned around. I like his decision to run away first. He should not have turned around. And Shay finds himself in a quite big lead. Yep, leave. Shay should be attacking with the Marines. There we go. She's attacking. She's a little late. Harley still believes he can take this. Oh, and he lands it. Oh no. Lift him up. Leave. And he's still building Marines. He is not reacting. What is Harley doing? Alright, Harley does leave finally. He lands right there. These Marines. Oh, there we go. He's changes his mind. So it's on fire though, so he doesn't repair it. He will be in a heap of trouble. Shay has a secret base. Uh-oh. Shay scans, see what she's facing against. She now sees that it's the same thing. Will she have enough experience in the strategy to counter a bio ball? Well, she is building siege tanks, so if she keeps her siege tank production going up, and then remembers to put them in siege mode, she has the game in the bag, I believe. That's my prediction. This... Good job, Harley. He saves this barracks from imminent death. These Marines are scouting. Making sure nothing comes out. Too bad that something already escaped. Both. Another thing, both have orbital commands. Orbital commands have so much value. They can run, scan, if you get supply blocked. And then the most powerful ability in all the game, or I believe, is the Mule, which reminds me as a madman. Shay is doing a lot better at using her command center than Harley, which should give her a little bit advantage. Let's look at the income. So Shay has a much higher income, but gas is about even. Army supply is in favor of Shay. Something I've noticed, Shay is much better at building units. Shay's much better at building more units, more supply, but Harley is much better at building those upgrades. So Harley already has a 1-1, and he's not getting a 2-2 yet, although he probably can't. He's probably using why he doesn't have it. But he's upgrading other stuff. He's building 3 tech labs. I'm not sure if that's totally necessary. I would prefer if he only built like 1 or 2, and then use it to upgrade this. Raw scan's going down. Harley uses all his energy to know exactly what he wants. What he's up against. I don't agree with using all his energy to scan. Like maybe 1 or 2 as a mule, so he can get more minerals.
Research.
As he's Shay is doing a wonderful job of using all her minerals, and she has more workers than Harley by 5. Not too big of a deal. Well, I guess in mirror matchup it's a big deal. Yeah, it's at this low level, it's not the biggest thing, having a little more workers. Harley goes for the gold faster, but Shay has 3 bases already. Oh yes, so Shay, I really agree with this. This mule, the most overpowered unit in the entire game, right there. Me looking at it, that little mean-looking bot. Although Shay, oh, this is no longer a museum. This is a full. Oh, I can't really scan to that. This is a full working engineering base. She will have some upgrades. It won't be nearly as much. Oh, they're doing vehicle. She has vehicle upgrades too. Is she going? She's using upgrades for this too. Yes, I love you, Shay. So what's she going against? Yeah, if she had medevacs, this would be perfect. You got Hellbats to soak up some damage. It's a little unorthodox, but you do a lot of damage versus light units. So if the Marines get even close to the Hellbat, they'll just melt. I've never seen a Firebats versus a Marine Ball, so I don't know exactly what's going to happen. But I have this feeling that by the time they get even close with these Marauder shells, concussion shells, they probably die before they even do any damage. But hey, they have 135 life, and these only have 45. They'll at least tank a lot of hits. Shay has a lot of defensive siege tanks, although none offensive. So at least she won't die to big bio ball, but she won't. She probably won't be able to attack. We need splash damage to go against a bio ball. But although Harley does not have any medifacts, so the bio ball is not near immortal yet. Harley is now building his secret base. In the bunker league, you build if there's a pocket base, you expand the pocket base, but your natural or third expand is always in a random spot, which I love to take advantage of. When I usually face someone from the bunker league, I'm also a little higher MMR. I just build 3 bases, put a big defense, and then find their secret base because it's not that hard to find because they always do it. And then I just attack their secret base and defending one. Well, I go with Harley. I go with Shay. Shay's base looks cooler. I like Shay's base more. But defending from 1, 2, 3, 4, and then if you have a dropship, 5, 6 different spots. 6 different spots is a lot. Oh wait, never mind. Hold that thought. We have some action. Oh, my bad. The Banshees is making Harley scream. Although, and she responds quickly. Look, that was almost sub-pro. Harley's Marines come right away. She takes them away with taking minimum damage. That is awesome. That's really good. Because usually, that's a big thing. Usually Shay, when some Marines catch up, she doesn't move them fast enough and they all die. So I really like that. She goes back in cloaked, checking out to make sure the pesky Harley. Now she has to be careful. 1 scan equals death to Banshee. Oh! And she leaves again. She actually keeps him alive. That is really good. The thing is, and she's doing an okay job. If you look at the minerals of building behind it, she's building behind while microing those. Let's look at action for a minute. So Shay's only doing 0. Oh, okay. Shay usually has really high actions per minute. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Shay is going to town. But with that micro and building, let's look at effective. Let's choose actually doing this thing. Yeah, she's doing effective action per minute too. Shay has an extremely high action per minute, where she can get up really high. For her job, she works at a bank for criminal finances, so she types all day, which comes really handy when you're playing StarCraft. Because typing, and StarCraft will also make you a faster typer too. Now we'll go back. Shay is Harley is barely mining at all. Let's look at the income. Because his main base is running out of minerals, and his one base that has a lot of minerals, he only has 9 out of 16 people, and no one on, well, gas isn't that big a deal, because there's still gas, the gas is still going good. But Shay has 1, 2, oh, never mind, but she has 2. So she has one base fully saturated, and another base building. One thing too, Harley's fireball. Harley has a much smaller army, but his army, I think, is just as fast. But Harley has medevacs, but Shay has a lot. Thor. I don't know, he can strike a single air damage. I guess it'd be good for anti. Oh, but Ravens. If she knows how to use this, Harley should say GG. These, she has other cool abilities, but the main ability is the anti-armor missile, which takes all the armor, which subtracts, affects the unit by 3. So you lose 3 armor. So let's look at the Marine. It has an armor of 1. So let's say, let's look at this. Let's look at Harley. Let's say if Shay does the anti-armor missile against this Marine, it would instead of have an armor of 3, it would have an armor of 0. Against this Marauder, it would have an armor of 1, and against one of the medevacs, it would have an armor of 0 also. So it totally negates all armor. These armies are kind of in a weird spot. They don't see each other at all, but they're just barely missing each other. I'm not sure. One thing that I don't agree with, your army is doing something. It's okay. There we go. That's better. You always want your army doing something, either defending one of your bases or attacking. So he needs to. Oh, never mind. See, sitting out here is not good because those units could either be attacking. Well, that wouldn't work. Distract, or it could be defending. This is really good. They split up her army and basically has her main army up here, but doing some harass / scouting. Splitting up your army is next level. She's only a silver rank 3, but if she still continues playing like this, she should be silver rank 1 at least. The reason why she is such low level of silver. Oh, but she's going for a drop. Oh yes, but siege tanks are not forgiving. But she might have. She probably has just enough to break through. Oh, yeah. I like that decision, but he should have dropped right here. What probably happened is Harley just told him to drop in one spot. But if it was actually looking at his medevacs and dropped, like, let's say, back here, Shay would have to unsiege everything and then come over here by the time everything's dead. So the game could have ended right. Well, she has to bring an army, so the game would not have ended. A lot more damage if he dropped away from the siege tanks. And the reason why he didn't, but to give him some slack, he doesn't see everything. He only sees this much. But he should have been paying attention to his drop and say, oh look, there's 3 siege tanks. I should probably drop somewhere else. But Shay takes full advantage of this. Now, if Shay should know that she killed a good portion or all of Harley's army. She should do a counterattack right now. But if Shay counterattacks, the game will end right now. So the game again could have gone either way. Harley should have dropped away from the siege tanks. Shay has so much banshees, and a couple liberators. I wonder if she'll siege them up at all. She sometimes just uses these as anti-air. Which Vikings are better at anti-air? In my opinion, I think they are. I actually don't know, but they're more cost-effective for anti-air. I know that at least. Shay will soften up the army with these banshees. I don't think she'll pull them away. Nope, she's just going to attack with them all. Oh, she should not fight on the ramp. Don't fight on the ramp. Run away from the ramp. Run away from the ramp. Alright, so when you're doing... Oh, battle cruisers don't... Not two battle cruisers. Oh wait, is this Harley's? Alright. Shay should have either put them like maybe like back here or so. Again, she made the same mistake Harley. She could have warped them anywhere. Like battle cruisers can warp anywhere. They don't need to see. She could have warped back here where there's less likely to be units, but instead she warps right next to where they'll die immediately. So she makes the exact same mistake. Another mistake is don't fight on the ramp. Either back up or run up the ramp and fight more on top of the ramp so you can have more surface to shoot. So that's the two mistakes Shay made. But Harley also made a big mistake trying to attack a bunch of siege tanks. Like 4 siege tanks. He tried to kill 4 siege tanks and lost almost all his army. Well, that being said, Shay still has a great arm worker, which I would say is a big advantage, but she's not spending her minerals, so it's no advantage. With what I've heard, if you're going bio, you should have about 6 barracks per base you have, mining base you have. So she should have at least 12 barracks, unless they have reactors. Reactors can make a barracks into like 2 barracks. So she should have like about 10 worth of barracks, and she has well, she has 4, and she's building a lot of battle cruisers. So even if she just had about 6 worth of barracks, about 6 or 8 worth of barracks, but she only has 4 worth of barracks. Like if she just built reactors on her barracks, she'd be able to use her minerals a lot better. There is an attack though. I'll be quiet. So Shay has mined out. That's the one thing. Shay has mined out her gold base, which means Harley has another attack path that he can abuse, while Shay does not have that option. Although Shay did use her Yamaha cannons to take out the medevacs, making the bio army a lot weaker. Alright, this game keeps going on. They've done a good job of killing each other. Shay has a lot more resources, but she's not spending them. She's spending her gas. No, she should just make like 10 barracks with fusion cores and just pump out marines. At least use something with those minerals. Or if she'd rather make a bunch of factories and pump out Hellions. Although factories cost gas. Or she should just build a lot of barracks and she would be doing a lot better. If the Shay could do one thing better, well, let's look at her upgrades. Shay has done, Harley of course has a ton of upgrades, but Shay's done a lot better on upgrades herself too. Alright. For this fight. Harley counters attack. And oh, she saves back by stinging him away. What she should have done is she should have fallen back to the siege tanks and protected them. The siege tanks dish out a lot of damage. And unless Shay should move her army up. She does clean this up, although I'd rather her use her other army to attack. She must have just forgot about it. But don't worry, she has plenty of minerals to rebuild everything. But I think she should. Oh wait! Surprise! There's some more action over here. Doing battle cruiser harass. It's a real thing. They warp, do some damage, go somewhere else. So Shay has a ton of. Shay would have this game if she would spend her minerals. Like I would say, Terran best way to spend minerals is barracks. Or she would have some gas too now, so she's not really spending. Oh, there we go. She's spending them now. On medevacs. Alright. Medevacs be great. You just need to get some barracks. But look at the supply. Army supply, Shay still has a much greater army supply. Like, I think Shay's gonna win this despite... Well, she's also... At lower levels, you sometimes get this high of minerals. And whenever I play Terran, I have a hard time spending the minerals. Like... Well, I'm not too good at Terran, but they're like... 15 minutes, I have like ridiculous amount of minerals. Like, alright, I'm just gonna build like 10 barracks and just see what happens. But, we got a harass party coming out. I love harass parties. Which will pull Harley's army away, which will help protect their base. See, harass does two things. It damages them, and it's also good defense. Because if they're defending their base, they're not attacking you. Harley's army is, the medevacs are really excited. They're running ahead. But they decided better and turned back to wait up for the army. They meet up. Harley's superior marines with more life, stim pack, Shay has stim pack, with better weapons, armor, and shields. Which they have superior weapons, armor. Alright, some scans went down. I didn't see what they scanned though. But someone got some information. Harley's moving out to do another attack. He's just continuing to attack. What I would love to see Shay is to use her. Oh wait, there's nothing going on. Oh, harass. One battle to the So Harley is desperately trying to attack. Each time he just struggles. He's going to go ahead, and oh wait, all right. He's breaking down the rocks. I guess. Why are you breaking down the rocks? It's just as fast. I don't agree with that. Like, I can see breaking down the rocks if they didn't mine out the gold at all. But this path up here, the ramp, is just as fast as any other. So, what I love to see Shay doing is once this army gets up here. Oh, I'm not sure. Alright. She needs to do something. If she's going to lose a battle cruiser, she should blow them away. At least do like a base trade. Because they're all going to die. Nope. She acts too slowly. See these two medevacs? This is an extremely scary army. She should not have sacrificed her again. This lone Banshee will save the day. Again, battle cruisers don't. Oh, there we go. So where's all Shay's army supply? Oh, she has a little bit of army everywhere. Harley has a full medevac. Harley is just better at. The thing is, even though Shay is better at playing the game. She builds more units. She macros about the same, but she can macro and build behind it. But Harley just has a better game sense. Where if someone's going battle cruisers, you just build a bunch of marines and you're going to turn out with a win anyway, with some medevacs. Shay, even though she's facing a bunch of marines, still insists on building battle cruisers, which all she needs, like four widow mines. Plant 2 of them side by side, and I think if you put 4 in one spot, if like 5 marines are gonna die when they walk in there, maybe more. They just have so much value. Alright. Shay is bringing her army. Oh, those army people are off their break. And Harley gets out alive. That's actually a good attack. So Harley is really behind. I don't think he can come back, but he's doing a really good job of trading effectively in the last 5 minutes. If he was playing like this the entire game, he probably would have won. Although I don't see how Harley can come back at all. if Shay would build some splash damage units like siege tanks or widow mines, this game would go by a lot faster. Shay is doing the moving base tactic, where she moves from base to base mining out. Shay does not know what to do with all her minerals though, so even though she does have a lot of minerals, she should just stop worrying about workers and worry about actually building units. She's forced to rebuild her fusion core, so maybe she'll build more units that trade better than battlecruisers. I don't know. Having battlecruisers to shoot down the medevacs and to warp in random spots to harass is great. So I don't say don't build any battlecruisers, but you need something to answer his marines. That's all he has. Harley just doesn't have that much. Let's see how hard they're thinking. Oh, Harley's thinking very, very, very hard. Shay just says, I don't think she knows what to do. Shay is scanning, looking for the secret base. Harley is going to harass. He's going to take down a lot of battlecruisers. I'm joking with this. He decides differently. Let's see, what is he thinking? So I'm not sure how much damage. She has pretty good units everywhere. And one Yamaha cannon. If Shay is on top of it, one Yamaha cannon can kill everyone in one shot. She sees it. Oh, I don't think she's looking though. Harley finds his way behind the lines and will probably clear out the whole mineral patch. Oh, one other thing too is when you start going to higher levels than Silver 3. Oh, and then he leaves when everyone's. Oh, but Yamaha cannon. Will Shay Yamaha cannon? Yamaha cannon, and they escape. I know. One battlecruiser guy is about to get fired. All you have to do is push the big red button. You know, all I had to do is push the red button, and Harley's army could have died. Harley, with all his macro, has stopped building. So that's the hardest. So Shay's greatest strength is she has no clue what units counter other units. Harley's big weakness, he either attacks or builds. He has a struggle doing either. Harley's way to fix that is just play more games. Is he using hotkeys? Use his hotkeys a little bit more. Actually, he might just. I think he is using his hotkeys. He just doesn't have enough barracks anymore. These SCVs are running for their life. Run, boys, run! Banshee's just having a field day. Oh, alright. Alright, another tip too. Shay doesn't really know much about macroing, but not macroing, microing. So how you micro your units is you move, attack, move, attack, move, attack. Alright, this could be it. And Shay goes in. And Shay is Yamaha cannon Marines. And Harley taps out. There's Harley fought to the end. Spawning in the bottom right, it is Shay, wishing Harley good luck. Shay is having a lot of fun playing Harley. She says she has met her equal. I guess she complains that when she faces me, I just destroy her. Which is true. Alright. These up and coming stars one day will give me a challenge. Hope. I and they're going pretty standard. Shay is actually I don't think I've ever seen Shay wall off against a Terran before. Oh yeah, the reason why I know so much about Shay is because I'm her wife and we fight each other on StarCraft sometimes. Oh, something else that I really like too is Shay uses two people to build stuff at the same time. That's really nice. It's a slightly preemptive supply depot, but still pretty good. I like her opening build thus far. And we got Harley going for a middle of Shay doing a much better job at spending her resources, at least at the beginning of the match. She goes for a tech lab first, which I agree with. Last couple of games she's gone Reaper first, and they've done nothing against Harley. So I'm glad that she is adapting. Harley, on the other hand, isn't saving up a lot of minerals for, I don't know why. He's going Marine first. I don't know what Harley is saving his minerals for. Let's see. He built a factory. Interesting. He's not going Marine ball. I wonder. Yo, if these guys do the Cyclone opening, I will scream or whoop or something crazy. Will they do it? No, she won't do it. She's researching STEM. Will Harley do it? Does he know about it? He might. So Harley has a much more experience with this game. Although he didn't start playing competitive until a couple days ago, he did more campaign and co-op, which teaches him stuff. No, he's not going for the opening. So the opening, oh, he can't, is when you do a tech a reactor, or I guess he could do a tech lab. Usually it's a reactor. But then once it's done, once the factory's done, you lift the barracks up and land the factory right there. So it has an add-on, tech lab or a reactor right away. And you can do it. Harley's doing the 1-1-1. Going liberate. Ooh, I love what Harley's doing. Let's see what Shay's doing. Shay is going for siege tanks, which is amazing. Anyways, I like these two. I really like their openings. It seems like every game they're getting better. The first game, it was pretty low level. I kind of made fun of them. Second game was actually a much more improvement, and this game so far is looking really good. And either one can take this win. The loser gets 4th place, and the winner goes on to face Dad. So maybe, a second. Shay is getting a fast sensor tower, so no shenanigans coming over. The question is, will this sensor tower sense this liberator? It probably won't, yeah, until it's too late. The worker supply is about the same, with a slight advantage to Harley. They both have orbital commands, which is great. Orbital commands are OP. Harley sieges up, which will stop this. She does not react in time. These Marines should hopefully take out. Oh boy, that's annoying. Alright, so she does react, which is good. Well, that was a really good. Harley's sleeping spot was amazingly good. Uh-oh. Harley will make sure there's no missile turrets. Alright, this Liberator might just win Harley game. No, Shay responds just fast enough. He's hunting us down. Alright, these missile turrets should be done pretty soon. He is just cutting his losses and going. Let's look at this. Wow, Shay is not minding anything. Look at that. That will greatly... Although Shay does have siege tanks, so I don't think she's going to die anytime soon. But that gives Harley a great lead. Let's see what Harley does with that great lead. That was a really, really good play. His first strategy wasn't working, so he went to a different strategy. He's doing a tech lap. Oh wow, that's really good. So what I'm just going to do, he's going to get he's going to get some liberators, and then he's going to get some medevacs, still, and pump out marines and do a liberator marine drop, and just kind of these guys will clear the way, will liberate the air zone, so they clear the way for the medevacs. Medevacs drop marines kill everyone. And the thing is, but Shay has a bunch of turrets and siege tanks and even banshees that can, even they do a lot of damage. They hit really hard. They hit harder against armored units, but they do have good harass potential. But it's really the siege tanks and turrets that will defend this potential drop. Although Harley's doing a different strategy. He's just going to harass some more with 2 full health with 2 more liberators, and he is just going to try to get. That's not good. Oh, there we go. Lag. Shay knows exactly what buildings Harley is building. Although I'm not sure if she knows enough about the game to make it super effective. She might though. Let's see what her responses are in their production. Well, let's see, how would you counter this army? Well, Widow Lions would be really good, because they can also attack air. Siege Tanks also good. The answer to Vikings is Marines. So yeah, Shay already has a perfect counter to this, so she just keeps doing what she's doing. Shay's going with a lone Banshee. The professionals go with a single Banshee, but also attack with two. She's going for the expansions. Alright. Shay's running. You can use all of... Harley has so much energy, but she's going to waste all his energy. While over here, Harley has this very unique Harley harass. He will liberate the zone, drop the Vikings, or keep them up in the air. They can do either. And that might be able to clear away. Like if he drops... Oh, Shay's also getting Vikings. Oh boy, I'm not sure. Unless Harley has some pretty sweet micro, I think Shay's going to repel this pretty easily. Although Shay... They are both... Look at this. They are both supply blocks. Shay could easily set down another supply depot to unsupply block her. And so could Harley, but they both save their energy. Harley is no longer supply block. Although... Harley has a much bigger army supply, and he's expanded better. Shay... Alright, so these guys are leading back. That harass gets repelled. Harley keeps harassing her. Oh no. So dirty. They better move. So Shay will take the liberators out. And then we'll escape. Alright, so that was pretty ingenious. She lands the Vikings first. Harley, he lands the Vikings first, taking out her missile turrets. And then he goes on with the liberators for additional harass. And the harass is game. Harley just harassed Shay to death, basically. And he's expanded, and Shay hasn't expanded. And Shay has not expanded. It's 10 minutes gone. Her minerals are going to run out. She should expand. Even if you don't have that much workers. You should at least... If you expand, you can build more workers. Shay, as if she's listening to me, she goes in and builds another command center. After the 10-minute mark, that's super late. Shay stumbles across the secret base. And no. Yeah, there we go. That's better. There we go. I like that decision making. to attack the SUVs because Banshees will never kill Command Center. It'll just lift up like that. And she mercifully saves. Wait. Oh, that's her SUV. Oh, she scouted that out before. I did not realize that. Open one lone liberator, hanging on his deathbed. But a lot more liberators will go to try to take on these Banshees. Liberators have air-to-air missiles, so the Liberators will be able to take out these Banshees, but they do not. Oh, they see them. She cloaks. And she makes Harley waste another scan. And they get out with half their health. They get out with pretty much a good amount of life. Harley moves to the command center. So with that, let's look at the income now. So Shay, for the first time, is actually outspending resources because Shay has 2 base. Well, Shay has more in her main. Harley, I don't know why. Why is Shay outspending? Oh, a mule. Oh, Harley has more workers, but Shay seems to be spending more. And even though Shay has 2 bases, there's really no one at the other bases to mine. I guess they're just there to build workers, except she's not building workers. She doesn't have enough minerals. Harley has a great supply lead, but like most people in Silver League, he just does not know how to spend them fast enough. He should, he should build a lot more barracks, just to at least spend the minerals, as just a mineral dump. Dump some minerals on. These liberators will wreak havoc to her expansion. Oh, not to this expansion, but this expansion, perhaps. One thing I wish she would do, and I don't think Harley does this either, or no one really in the Bunker League really does this, for whatever reason, but this command center could be building for this mineral patch. This command center could be building this mineral patch. And then, oh, this command center is, oh, I like that decision too. But you can, but let's say if you're not a race that can just float buildings whenever they want, you can have a command center building units and then have those units move over to another mineral line. So there's 2 bases building. So you can build workers that much faster. Although Harley has caught up with the mineral spending, mainly because most of Shay is doing mostly long distance mining, so that's the main reason why. And Harley has got his economy up, with about even in economy now. Although Harley has a much more impressive army, and this amount of liberators. Let's see what his other army is like. A bunch of Marines. Yeah, he's just doing a medevac Marine with a couple of Vikings every now and then. Although they both have done a really bad job of scouting each other out, they're mostly just on their half. I don't know. Shay has been beaten up a lot, and so she doesn't know what to do. And Harley's beat up Shay, but she hasn't rolled over and died, which is what I think. Well, that's kind of what Jade and what a lot of people do. His level, once they get harassed this much, they just roll over and die. But not Shay. So they both kind of don't know what to do. How to finish the game out. Uh-oh. The welcoming party has arrived. Now, Liberators do only 6 damage, while Vikings will go doing 25 damage. So Vikings will eliminate the Vikings. So Harley should win, but let's say if he just mass-produce Marines and stem them over, or if he's going Armory, one unit that's really good against air is Thor's, because they can do splash damage, which Let's look. I don't know what the weaknesses are. But let's say if these units are all bunched up, they hit that unit, it'll hit all these units at the same time because of splash damage. So like Thors, if you're going Robo, Thors are good anti-air. If you're going Bio, Marines are the best anti-air. But he has so much minerals, he can just build a bunch of barracks, build a bunch of Marines, and pretty much run over Shay. Especially since she only has 2 siege tanks. But because Harley struggles with his spending of minerals, he's giving Shay basically a second chance. Harley is a gentleman. Yep. This is probably one of the, those campaign missions where you try to win the mission with as much minerals as possible. Harley's playing that, I guess. Although Shay in the second game had like 5,000 minerals and still somehow won. I guess she should get a trophy for that. Winning with the most minerals possible. 5,000 last game, pretty impressive. And this game has kind of gone down to a roll. They're both just scan attacking each other. Shay, afraid of more liberators, overbuilds Vikings, but they're not totally worthless. They can go to assault mode and then just harass a mineral line or something. Shay has done a lot better job of expanding than Harley. Harley should either be expanding or attacking. Either is fine. But not doing either one of those. I think he's about to attack though. I just have a stinging feeling that these guys are just going to march across the map. Oh, I actually don't think so, because I think he's trying to go mech. He's upgrading ship weapons and plating and the fusion core and basically go battle cruiser against her. I think he thinks he's far enough ahead, he's done enough damage where he can just do battle cruiser. But the thing is, he's building upgrades. Oh, he must be falling back to his marine. Oh, he's really. Oh no, I think he's falling. I think he's changing his strategy up a little bit. I don't know. That's a kind of a pretty rough transition. Alright, so Harley builds up. So what I think Harley will do is wait until he maxed out on upgrades with some battle cruisers and walk over with a marine battle cruiser, hopefully some medevac ball. Harley is really upgrading. He's changing his strategy. Whatever his Liberator Rush wasn't working, his Liberator Viking Rush wasn't working, so he's going back to what he knows. Marine Barrel Ball. And I don't think Shay has any inkling of what's going on the other side of the map. Shay, on the other hand, now has equal army supply and more workers. She is doing a much better job of macro, although most of her army supply is in Vikings, which do not do well against Marines. I'm going to guess. I'm pretty sure Harley has his game just because of that. Vikings versus Marines. Marines win. Marines meta. No. I guess it comes down. Let's see. Why is she? I guess she's using her energy to go for. She's using her energy to go mules. I'm guessing because she's not maxed on energy. But she's just another case of lack of scouting. This is all she knows. Well, I guess she knows about the second base. So coming back, the army supply is about equal, but Harley's army is a lot better than a bunch of Vikings. I wonder. I know what she's not. She saw the fusion core and 2 starports, and she's probably afraid of a mass battlecruiser. And Harley, I guess, faking her out is instead going Marines. So she's going to try and count on battle cruisers, and when she sees a bunch of 3-3 Marines, probably 3-3. Let's see what the upgrades. Oh, let's look at production. Harley's going to get 3-3 Marines with STEM, and it's basically just going to run all over Shay. Harley has faked Shay out. And this might, and his great, that's pretty genius. What was that? Oh, there must have been a harass or something. My bad. But I don't think she ever saw how much Marines Harley has. So Shay deciding she has enough Vikings to deal with the Phantom battlecruisers that don't exist. Well, that Harley successfully faked out. Harley did a really good move by faking her out. Harley eventually decides to attack, and Shay has a lot of scouting, but this army is so far undetected by Shay.
Systems go. Cyclone ready for action.
We'll break down this wall and go right into the juicy base. And this is a whole lot of Marines. Holy moly. And these guys, they have no upgrades and 3-3 Marines. I think there's been more damage. I think Harley has more damage himself. Alright, the Banshees will disappear also with the scans. And this was Shay did a really good job. I thought she was going to win, but Harley faked her out. And even though siege tanks counter Marines, there's just too much of them. And Harley will take the win.